Run that up, Rico. 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 Run that up, Rico.
Oh man, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa, we scarcely made it tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Scarcely.
Scarcely made it. Um, just want to say, shout out to everyone who is watching the live before we came on just to enjoy the music. Um, oh man, it's a lot of things going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Randy Chew, aka Mr. Choo-On-That, aka Mr. I'm not even in the mood to smack nobody's grandmother.
Thank God.
Um, and I'm here with my co-host.
You already know who it is. Christopher J, aka Mr. I'm Him, aka Mr. Skirt Skirt. You already know how we do, man.
Listen,
Appreciate y'all for being here, though.
listen. So I don't know where my special guest is right now. I know he's very busy and had a lot he had to do today for his profession to feed his family. So, and he's black and he's a homie that I know personally. So it's nothing like that. We had the show scheduled and booked and on his calendar. But when you work in Hollywood and on them sets, you don't know how the day is gonna go. Um, the homie squeezed me in last minute. He, I gave him a week notice, but that's last minute for him because he's actually on sets and on television. So, out of respect for his scheduling, what he has going on in life, we're gonna move forward. If he decides to call in, we'll definitely chime in with him. Um, but real quick, you know what we like to do. You know what we like to do. We like to promote books, and
And business.
businesses. Um,
My bad.
so the first book I want to promote, starting off, is the Willie Lynch Letter. Yeah, it's about to get real heavy already.
If you wasn't ready.
I got all the information right there for you to order it. The Willie Lynch Letters and How to Make a Slave.
Technical difficulty.
That's the second time he done did that, y'all.
We upset? My bad.
um, the Willie Lynch Letter and How to Make a Slave. This, if you ever read this book, now mind you, this is books that I've read personally. And these are the low end, at the low end of my book collection. So, the Willie Lynch Letter and How to Make a Slave. If you read that, it'll show you how they programmed us to hate each other, be jealous of one another, shoot each other, envy one another, and not build together. That's the Willie Lynch Making of a Slave. The next book I want to talk about is Destruction of Black Civilization. Great Issues of Race from 4500 BC to 2000 AD. From 4500 BC up to now, pretty much. It highlights specific black civilizations that were great, that got destroyed. How they got destroyed. They got destroyed by the colonizers and the Arabs. They came in like they were friendly and divided and conquered. A lot of times we hear about certain kingdoms in history, but those are just the small portions of our history, and a lot of our greatness has been wiped out and hidden in books because there's an old saying that says, if you want to hide something from the Negro, put it in the book. In fact, the first book I mentioned, the Willie Lynch, remember we wasn't allowed to read. Then they said we could read, but we could only read specific books. That pattern is still in our heads today because right now we still don't read. The moment you talk about reading something, someone wants it in a PDF form or ebook because they're so addicted to their smartphone, which is collecting data on them instead of getting a hardback copy or paperback copy of the book to actually read the book. Anyway, moving on. This is just a small collection. I'm just letting everybody know what I'm working with. Another book, Without Sanctuary, Lynching Photography in American History. Ladies and gentlemen, this book also talks about how the United States government and the post office had post-it notes of pictures, stamps, and postcards of hung black folks. The very first picture when you open up the book is actually a picture of 20,000 white folks standing around a tree, clapping, cheering, and celebrating as 3 black people are hung on the tree, and it was a husband, a wife, and their son. The son was 12 years old. In fact, this happened because a 11-year-old white kid picked a nigger, where we get the word picnic. He picked a nigger, said, let's hang him and his family. 20,000 white folks hung him. And you mean to tell me that they're descendants of those 20,000 white folks just stopped feeling a certain type of way? Anyway, just read the book. Well, look at the pictures in the book. Another book I want to give you guys, because I like to give information, is the book called The Unconquered. Talks about the Gula Wars. This is actually read this book after I promote. I'm going to promote another book after this. So read this book after the next book I promote, should I say. Because it goes hand in hand. The Unconquered is pretty much how we think that black folks never rose up and fought against the American military, and if we think if we ever did, because of their weaponry, we would lose. These are historical accounts of when American slaves revolted on American soil and fought against the American military and won. Let that sink in. The next book, which you should read first before reading The Unconquered, is The Invisible War, African American and Slavery Resistance from the Stono Rebellion through the Seminole Wars. Get the mindset that we can't win this warfare out of your head, whether it's economically, socially, spiritually, or physically, because we've won on all fronts. The problem is we never won all of them at the same time.
Facts.
And so that's what we need to do. But it's kind of hard if you don't know that you're still under the Willie Lynch syndrome, because you're warned against your brother instead of warned against your true enemies. And I'm not talking about all white folks. I'm talking about the colonizers, the elites, the 13 satanic families that run this world that call themselves Jew-ish, because they're really not Jews. But anyway, I'm not Nick Cannon. You can't fold me. I own my platform, homie. And by the way, the Choo-On-That show back in 2013 had 1 million plus followers, listeners, subscribers, viewership. So you can't say that I'm just a small guy from Anne Arundel County, because my reach is very long. Just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah. Next book I want to promote: Melanin, What Makes Black People Black. This book was written, and it breaks down historically, scientifically, what melanin is, how it is pretty much gold and the sun in our skin. We absorb the sunlight, and we actually absorb the sunlight that gives us kinetic and tonetic and kinetic energy in which we can do things from. In fact, it even talks about how back in our day we had soft sole shoes, because when we were walking through the jungles and things, we didn't want to crush ants and spiders and things like that, because they can recuperate from, it's like wearing Crocs, but softer. And we knew that because we were in tune with nature, we was in tune with ourselves, we were in tune with all of it, the universe, the cosmos. We were in tune with all of it, so we understood how to respect nature, and nature in turn respected us. Anyway, get the book. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, my goodness, Lord have mercy, Jesus. These are the last two books I'm going to promote for this show. Worldwide Evil and Misery, The Legacy of the 13 Satanic Bloodlines. Written by people who got kicked out of the bloodlines, wrote this stuff, and then got killed. If you want to understand why the world runs the way it does, who controls what, why you think the way you do, for example, you think that capitalism is the way to go. It's actually not. You were programmed to think if you work hard, you'll get more. That's actually not true either. You've been programmed to believe that, to chase the money, to get the bag. You've been programmed to chase materialistic things to get you blinded to serving the God of Mammon instead of actually doing self-reflection, self-evaluation, understanding thyself, and in turn understanding every. You know, this book reminds me of something. Reminds me of something. And a matter of fact, I'm not even going to promote the next book. I'm just going to. This book reminds me of something, Christopher J. You want to know what this book reminds me of?
I'm waiting on you to tell me.
You know, I got a question that I learned this question from a great man. I want you to go and ask people to name the 5 people that they love the most. And then after they name the 5 people they love the most, I want you to ask this question. Why? Then after they answer that question, I want you to ask them, if 2 out of those people had to die in order for 3 of those people to live, which 2 would you choose to die? It makes you realize how programmed. Go ahead.
It forces you
Uh-huh.
to really look in the mirror. It really forces you to identify why. It really forces you to dig deep down within yourself, further than you've ever had to go. It forces you to look deep down within yourself to identify a selfless meaning.
Oh, ho! Don't even dig. Don't go any further. Stay right there. Stay right there. Because, and that's so perfect because let's talk. If we were to, most people would say some but all, not all people, but some. They would say husband or wife. They would say kids, mother, father, best friend, whatever. No one ever would list themselves. And no one would ever list their enemy.
Correct.
But without people, there's love cannot be rewarded if you only love that which loves you. In fact, the word love, if you study the etymology of it, it actually encompasses loving someone that actually doesn't love you, which is where us Americans get this watered down version of unconditional love. But there's no such thing as unconditional love. All love is conditional, including from the Bible you read from. All love is conditional.
Speak.
There's 7 things God hate. There's 6 things God hate. Yea, 7 is an abomination. Esau I have loved. Jacob I have loved, but Esau I have hated. So even God's love is conditional. Because if it didn't have conditions to it, that means that, never mind, because love and forgiveness runs hand in hand. But anyway, for those that are not enlightened, they won't ever catch it. But
so would it be love that is unconditional and not the relationship?
Correct. So the love is the love should be what we classify or we like to say is unconditional.
But a relationship should not be. The conditions of a relationship should not be unconditional.
Let's go deeper than that. We cannot use the word unconditional, attach it to the word love, because in ourselves we are conditioned.
This is true.
So
I give you that. I'm with that.
so as we
100%.
evolve, right? As we evolve, our conditioning is detached, and we create a new conditioning. You see what I'm saying? So there's no such thing actually as unconditional love, because all love is conditional based upon our condition.
You can't be unconditioned to a condition you never experienced.
Correct. Oh, God bless you. Oh,
Yeah. Coronavirus. Just kidding.
But before we dive more into this real quick, I just want to say much love. I send prayers out to Bert and his family right now, his children. It's not my place to speak on anything. Just pray for the brother. He'll let know who he wants to let know about what's going on in his life. I got a lot of respect for the brother. He works here with Christopher J at the barbershop, and Christopher J is sacrificing tonight right now through a lot of pain from someone he looks at as a big brother to be on the show tonight. So we're just gonna dive in and have just dialogue. So bear with my co-host tonight. He might get teary-eyed, he might laugh, he might scream, but this is what my platform is for. It's for freedom of expression. Transparency. Something that us black men are not allowed to do in public. But on my platform, my co-host has the liberties to do so, because this is our platform. I built this, not Viacom, not MTV, not BET, but Randy Choo. This is my platform. So
everybody wants to be real until it's time to do it.
Right. So I'm gonna take a quick 2.2. When we come back, me and Chris gonna just continue some loose talk. And if y'all want to chime in, hit the chat, subscribe, like, all that good stuff. We'll be back right after this 2.2.
Run that up, Rico. Run that up, Rico. Run that up, Rico. Run that up, Rico.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Randy Choo, aka Mr. Choo-On-That, aka Mr. Tonight's Not the Night to Smack Anyone's Mama.
Thank God.
And I'm here with my co-host,
Christopher J, aka Mr. Essential, aka Mr. I'm Him, so act like you know.
aka Mr.
Skirt.
Listen. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest has contacted me. Like I said before, Hollywood is Hollywood. He was filming and doing his thing. He will be on the show shortly. So when he calls in, that's when I'll take my next break to set him up properly, and then we'll come on and have Mr. Brent Taylor on the show.
Yeah, so do yourself a favor. We're giving you a head. The reason why we're giving you a heads up, not because of really Hollywood, is the fact that he looks like a dirty Q-tip, so that you need to get yourself ready to go ahead and prepare yourself to be able to visualize him. Hey, Brent Taylor, I love you, dog. Hey, keep doing what you're doing, man.
Listen. Oh, man, I'm not cracking no Brent tonight. I don't want no smoke, no fade, nothing.
I got asthma and I still want to smoke. I ain't scared of nobody.
I want to, since we not scared of nobody, let's talk about this Terry Crews.
I ain't scared of him neither.
You know, there was a time where I always thought, the first time I thought that Terry Crews was gay.
Is it because he popped like his spectacle?
No. I think it was one of the Fridays.
And he was trying to take little Cat Williams in the bathroom.
Not just that, but he was like, oh, Tupac. Tupac. I said, this nigga gay. Unbelievable.
It's called good acting, man.
And then the story came out that he got felt up on in front of his woman twice.
Got nothing to do with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just want to say one thing and one thing. If you ever think that you will ever feel on me in front of my woman, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go to your nearest Walmart.
Sporting goods section.
I want you to go past the self-checkout, walk past the registries. I want you to go past electronics, make a left right there at electronic, right between home furniture and electronics. Make a left.
Sound about right.
Go down to sporting goods. Sound about right, don't it?
Yeah, it sound about right.
Go to sporting goods. Get you a shotgun.
Preferably a Mossberg 500 or 590 tactical, if you know your knowledge.
Get the Mossberg.
Or even the Remington 318. That's cool too.
Remington 318 to get the job done. Listen, then Terry Crews comes on and social media and makes an acronym for coon.
I'm sorry. Makes an acronym for who?
Coon.
See, you really don't like saying it so much that you yawn because you got so tired of talking about it.
Yeah. Because we had a coon on the show before.
What was her name?
Her name was Shirlene Hebron.
Oh. What was that spelled? It says Shirlene C.
The way she spelled it was coonish.
Oh, okay.
How she spell it, yo?
C-O-O-N?
Yeah, that's how. Yeah. How you spell her last name?
C-O-O-N?
Yeah. And
Crazy.
she talked about, and America is the greatest country in the world. I would live no other place. I'm sitting there like, someone is telling you what to say right now. Is the FBI telling you what to say, Mrs. Hebron? Because I realize I've been on the FBI investigation. I'm pretty sure they ain't finished yet. So, with that being said...
Yeah, we giving her too much power. It's about Terry Crews, man. Yeah, about Terry
I'm
Crews.
just going to finish my statement. So, with that being said, if you were being watched by the FBI...
What would you do?
I just want you to realize that you are worse than Judas in betraying your people. Now,
Is he ready?
ladies and gentlemen, Terry Crews gets grabbed by the sack.
Your description is terrible. It's cool.
And has the audacity to say coon. So someone tell me what the acronym that Terry Crews put up there on social media, please. Conquer our own negativity.
It was conquer. Conquer. Okay. Which is, so the moment y'all said it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like we could have used so many other words like clean, cleanse, but to conquer is by force, right? Him being you know what? That was It could be clean our own.
Ladies and gentlemen, the guest is here. We're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we have our special guest.
Can we add him on that topic too?
Yes, we can. We definitely will. Okay.
Run that up, Rico.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am here with a very special guest, Brent Taylor. Everyone, Brent Taylor's in the house. Give him a round of applause, everyone. Give him a round of applause. Brent has been filming since freaking 7 o'clock in the morning. Brent, holler at the people. Tell them what's going on in your life real quick.
What's up, y'all? What's up, man? It's Brent Taylor, man. It's your boy, man, from Roast Me. Shout out, man. We just, I just got out of the studio, man. We back. I just finished a whole season of some shit, man. So stay tuned, y'all. We got some shit posted.
Okay.
That's a bet.
Speaking of, my co-host said you look like a dirty Q-tip.
All right, swinging the miss. That's what's up. That's what's
Nah,
up.
I mean,
They can't all be winners, bro. They can't all be winners.
Nah, so listen, no shade, but I was just going off of the last episode I saw of Roast Me. That's it. But if you want me to be current, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of niggas talk about the past, but if you want me to talk about the now, I'm trying to figure out why you got a black tee and a denim hat, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you need a haircut, I'm a barber, cuz. Like, you just come holler at me.
There you go.
All right, strike two. All right. You got it. You got
Hey,
it.
look.
You're good one, bro.
No. Yeah, strike two. I mean, Jesus always talks about turning the other cheek. You only gave us two, so third time's a charm. Be careful.
Uh-oh.
Give it a turn.
Hey, I just want to say, man, it's an honor to have you on the show. Me and Brent met through a mutual friend. And right away, the vibes was cool. Yo, the homie had me rolling, bro. And so yeah, and he works around some people I know as well. So it's all love on the platform. Follow him on Instagram at comedian Brent Taylor. This guy is hilarious.
Facts.
Like freaking hilarious. And I'm not just saying that just to say it. Because if he wasn't hilarious, he wouldn't be on the platform. He went from having a bowl to baby dreads in 3 months. Oh man. So real quick, bro. Before we get goofy and I let you go because I know you've been working all day and I don't want to hold you. I want to respect your time. Yeah, no doubt. And I appreciate you being a man of your word, coming on the show. Even though I know you dead tired, you've been working all day. I appreciate that. I mean that for real. But how is it being a black comedian in Hollywood right now? Just from your perspective, like how is everything?
Transparency, bro. Keep it a band.
Real talk, man. Real talk, man. This is the time to like really step our black man shit up. Like I know we be saying this all the time. Like don't be blaming the white man and all that. Like yo, real talk. We can't blame nobody for our situation right now. This is the time for really, like just live up to our potential. You know what I'm saying? We so talented. We so special. We so smart. Yo, now it's time to really do all that shit, yo.
Yeah.
And make our marks on the world. For real, man. Now's the time to really make our marks on the world, yo. Yeah.
And so some of the projects that you're doing right now is what? Tell the people some of the projects you're working on.
Like I said, we just filmed a season of some stuff just now. I've been working at ADD just now for shit, man. I've been there all week, actually, man. We've been in there night and day. We in a new studio. I got some new stuff on my channel that I'm working on. I'm in 2 movies that's coming out. I'm writing for this show on NBC right now. It's a lot right now, but mainly this ADD stuff. We about to drop, man. Just stay tuned with that. Because we back in full fledged right now. We was doing a lot of stuff through like Zooms and you know what I'm saying, social distancing. So now we just adapting to it now. Like, you know, we still gotta follow guidelines, but we can at least be in the studio and see niggas and shit. It's hard to roast niggas when you can't see them and shit. You know?
Yeah.
It's better. Now they got us all in the room. They got us like in a table right across from each other and stuff. So it all worked now.
Okay. Yeah, I got a homie called himself The Real DJ Show. That's been doing some filming. I be roasting with him on Instagram a lot. I think he was next to Debo. I call him Debo's son because he looks just like Debo on Friday. But yeah, that's what's up, man. You know, it's a lot. It's good to hear an entertainer say that we have to stop blaming people and we got to start doing being creative and doing what we got to do. We got to create our own avenues and venues as well, but it takes time to do that. It takes strategy to do that, and you still got to eat while you trying to set all that up, yo. And you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just appreciate that kind of information. So what you was playing, a mascot or something on the set?
All right. That's what's up. Yeah, man. My bad. I'm tired, bro. My bad. I'm sitting there waiting on this bitch to come pick me up. My bad. I can't. I hear yo Rocksteady from Ninja Turtle ass keep trying to throw him out there. They ain't landed, but
Wow.
I
Wow, Sugar Ray Leonard with his starter locks is really trying to start trash. That is crazy.
Uh-oh.
I hear y'all. When y'all get some funny ones, I'ma snap. I'ma really, you know what I'm saying? I'ma turn it up. You know, it's work, bro. They can't all.
Well, when you actually learn how to laugh instead of you got going on, then you might actually get somewhere, bro.
Yeah. Stay tuned, man. Hit me up, bro. You know what I'm saying? It mean a lot, man. Just come out, you know what I'm saying? Support, bro, for real, for real. And check us out, man. I just did some shit with T.I. and some more shit. So yeah, stay tuned, man. Check it out, bro.
Oh man, that's what's up. So
one.
So yo, that was hilarious, ladies and gentlemen. Hilarious.
He cool people,
So he been filming since like 7 o'clock in the morning, which would be 4 o'clock our time. So he been on set since 4 a.m. our time till now, working on some stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, that nigga said look like Rocksteady on Ninja Turtles.
That's cool. Why had your back, man?
Oh man, that's hilarious.
He won't finna come at you like that.
So now I'm gonna get him back. I'm gonna get him back. I'm gonna get the Real DJ Show back. I'm gonna get who else I'm gonna get back? I'm gonna get Craig Smith back. So Craig Smith went on Instagram Live, right? So I go on there and I'm joining with him. And I'm trying to, I'm like, nigga, I'm trying to roast. He's like, let's go. I don't never duck the fade. And as soon as he was like, realized who I was, he was like, oh, I'm ready to eat you alive. I said, nah, let me go ahead and hang up off this Instagram. This nigga ain't making me on Instagram. Listen, so a lot of things has been going on in our society and in our life. And this show has been structured like this. One, because the guest of the show had a lot of things he was doing in Hollywood, and then my co-host was dealing with some things before the show. So just having this loose talk, it's crazy because when you really reflect on life, laughter is supposed to be medicine. It's supposed to be that thing but as black men, we oftentimes are, if we're too goofy, if we laugh too much, we're looked at as a goofball. Which I've been a goofball my whole life. I'm sorry. But I also been a fighter my whole life. So it was a lot of things I could get away with that a normal person who couldn't really fight get away with because I could fight. It got to the point where everyone was trying to jump me because they wasn't trying to see me one-on-one. So, but I say that to say this. With everything going on in society and everything going on in life, seriously, all jokes aside, if you're 300 pounds, I need you to go in your car. I know it's going to take you a while. You might need oxygen tank while you walking there. But go to your car, drive to your nearest Walmart, because I'm pretty sure it's still open. 24-hour joint. Wear your mask. Social distancing, which I know is harder for you.
Coronavirus.
So if you 300 pounds, if someone is in the aisle, you gotta wait your turn.
Look, if you're 300 pounds, your respiration rates is limited.
Oh,
I don't know if you know, but COVID-19 directly affects your respiration.
I'm sorry, if you're 300 pounds, COVID ain't even seeing you. That joint is in the air looking like, no, go another way.
My precious.
Oh, man. Chris, people always talking about, the word love is such a manipulative word. It's a very manipulative word because I got you fired up the moment I said that. Can a father love their child and hate the mom?
No. 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 I don't believe so.
So you're saying that a father has to love the mom in order to love the child.
In some form of fashion, yes. You don't have to love the mother in the exact capacity that you love the child. No.
So you saying that love has been conditioned?
When you plant a seed into soil,
Mm-hmm.
the seed of a give me a plant, give me a fruit, tomato. Oh yeah, tomato seed is what, but yay big,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
But when it grows
I got some in my backyard. Go
but
ahead.
when it grows into the fruit, you can bite into that thing. It's a fistful.
Mm-hmm.
A seed is barely like a fingertip.
Mm-hmm.
Just goes to show you that a seed can grow into something greater.
Right.
To me, a man is.
But does it take love in order for that seed? Does the farmer have to love the soil in which the seed is planted in order for him to love the tomato?
To love the seed is to let the seed go into the soil. So to let it go, like to sacrifice the seed, you have to let go of that seed into the soil. You gotta respect the soil.
So all the joints you didn't eat it in, you saying you love?
What joints did I skeet in? If we're gonna be transparent and honest,
I don't know. I'm just saying.
because to me, if you want,
have you been in love with a female?
Yes.
Have you stopped loving her?
Yes.
You have stopped loving her.
Stop being in love or stop loving her?
Stop loving her.
No.
Okay. So, without saying names, your ex, did you love your ex?
Yes.
Do you still love your ex?
I got love for everyone.
No, don't dodge the question, politician.
I answered the question.
No, you didn't.
If I say that I love everyone, the answer to if I say that I love everyone, the answer to your question is yes.
You love these two?
I love you, don't I?
Ooh.
I'm in the father capacity.
Last I checked, you are a male, right? Therefore, I love you.
He's talking to Big Bro right now. For those who can't see.
Uncle Randy.
Yes.
Last I checked, you are a male, and I have love for you. I love you.
Yeah.
You
love you too, nephew.
there it is.
That's no problem.
Therefore, that kills all that sexual. All that's dead. It's done. It's done.
So does that mean that now? Oh, we're getting somewhere deep. So because this generation needs to hear this kind of dialogue. So are you saying that you don't have to be in love to have a physical activities with someone?
Duh. You can answer that your darn self before
Really?
you decided to take the covenant
Really?
with your wife. Let's just be
Okay.
honest, and that goes for any male who
Okay.
stands before
Or
God.
female.
Touche.
Or female.
Touche.
'Cause especially nowadays. 'Cause
That is
females-
applicable.
Applicable. Oh, there you go.
That is applicable.
Okay, so now, and so let's say Christopher J had a child. No, because you claim you love everyone. So let's say if I had a child, right? No. Let's say if Joe Blow had a child, he was in love with the mom, had the child, fell out of love with the mom, doesn't even like the existence of the mom, but spoils and loves the child. Are you saying that type of relationship cannot exist?
Let us not confuse the hurt of the failure of that relationship with the love that he has for the woman that was bearing his child that he has all this love for. That's where transparency comes into place from one black man to the next.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that stereotypical hurt or hatred comes from.
Okay.
I'm tired of black women. The black woman that you had a child from.
No. We're not talking about specifically black women.
If we didn't want to talk
about
okay, let's take it. I'm
Joe
speaking,
Blow.
Joe Blow. Okay.
Joe Blow has
Joe
a
Blow.
child.
Joe Blow has a child. That's cool. I understand it. I get it.
Because
what's wrong with today's generation, regardless of race or gender, is that we are so easily able to acknowledge a wound, but we never identify the process in which that it takes to heal the wound. See, we're so quick to go ahead and jump on a meme that we might see on social media. Oh, time heals all wounds. That's false.
Right.
Because if we both deal with the breakup at the exact same time on the exact same day,
you could get healed faster than me, or vice versa.
Because if I choose to,
correct,
time is given to you to heal wounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm getting at is the hurt and the healing is going to be based on the individual themselves. If you want to be healed, then you'll do so.
So according to what you just said, now to go back to the question, the reason why I didn't want to specifically say the black man or the black woman or etc. Is because number one, we all know that the colonizers were the one who destroyed the black family.
Correct. No, and I agree.
Even Lyndon B. Johnson destroyed the black family by making the black woman go against the black man to get free housing if the black man wasn't there,
and to become dependent on welfare.
Yeah.
I'm well aware.
So there's systemic and oppression and spiritual oppression there that hinders that. But what I'm saying is, through all of the things that society in America has thrown upon men and women, is it possible for the man to love his child without having love for the woman that the child came from?
Yes. As long as he chooses in some way, shape, or form. I'm not going to speak on the fraction of how deep that wound is. You have to be able to heal in some way, shape, or form. You will not have any room to love something more if you haven't healed what's already been hurt.
Now, let me say this. I'm glad you said the word wound. Oh, this is beautiful. I feel the old Chew with the connecting of the conversations coming back.
With the tapioca put in the nose.
Peep this.
Don't.
Now, as a boxer, a former fighter, there were certain punches that a boxer can take and never get cut. And another boxer can take that same punch and get cut. Let's put that in this scenario. If a man and a woman decide to go separate ways, does that automatically mean that there's a wound there? Because we've seen wounds in those type of scenarios, does it mean that those wounds are the majority of breakups, or is there breakups where it's actually no wounds?
Are we talking physical or emotional?
No, really, we're talking emotional with the example, because the blow, there's a blow that creates, when there's something that happens, there's a force that happens that creates wounds. Yeah. Situations that create wounds. I agree. And all that. So I use that boxing analogy as an example of the force driving the wound. So the punch is the force driving. Sometimes some people can take a blow, not get cut. Well, some people can take that same blow. Another fighter could take that same blow and get cut. In relationships, is it possible for a man or a woman to be able to break up without it creating a wound? Now, mind you, this is some banal.
No, so some banal is going to be that category that needs to get placed on our relationships. I'm gonna say that to say this. You don't see a scar on my face, but what you don't know is on my left eye I have a partially torn retina from head trauma from boxing.
I know that.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
But the people listening don't know that
Right.
because you don't see it on the outside.
Right.
But it's what I know.
Right.
But ask me if I'm going to second guess whether or not I need to get into a fight, whether it's to protect you or any of my children or any family member or someone that I love.
Right.
If I'm going to second guess, hell no.
Right.
I will swing. I'm a bob and weave what I got to do to win the fight. But am I going to be scared to take a hit to the head? Am I going to be scared to take any head force trauma? No.
So with the wound that you just said, now someone has taken that exact same punch from that exact same person or object and didn't have a wound from it.
Mm-hmm.
If we was to switch that to relationships,
If they didn't have a wound.
Let's get even personal. Your father, your biological, created a wound. Correct? Or am I incorrect? I'm correct. My biological didn't create a wound. Now, both our biologicals wasn't in our life, and well, I didn't meet my biological till I was in my 20-something. I already had kids. But there's no wound there. But yours wasn't in your life. And when I say in your life, I'm talking about in the capacity a father's supposed to be in a child's life. Wasn't there. But there's a wound created there. Now, is it safe to say that in relationships, it should not matter what goes on with the mother and the father? The child should always feel the love from both. But society has forced the child to thinking that every wound is the father's fault when it comes to parenting that child in a relationship.
That's false.
Okay.
That is false.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, I won't lie, that one hit me. Yeah,
my bad. Yeah.
The point of a relationship is to relate.
Mm-hmm.
Male and female.
Mm-hmm.
When a male and female get together, the compatibility is going to be based on something, whether it's a true definition of love. There's a compatibility on hurt. People can share and you can relate on hurt. That's not necessarily healthy either. So when you look back to the source of the relationship, sometimes you need to question what your definition of love truly is. Because if I were to chase a relationship, being transparent now, if I were to chase a relationship based on what love is, it would be seeing a woman cry multiple times and not tears of joy. It would be narcissism from a male, justified logically by intellectual superiority over a woman, which I realize over time I've learned as in getting older that we use to justify why males are more superior than females, and that's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Because if that was the case, then you really wouldn't be the greater man that you are without your wife and having your children. You literally have a kingdom.
Correct.
With the accumulation. But we have men that tell women you wouldn't be where you are without me, but yet never giving credit to I wouldn't be where I am without you.
Right.
And that's what I was raised under.
Okay.
And that's what generated a giver. So I found myself pouring from an empty cup.
Okay.
You understand
So
what I'm
you're
saying?
saying that you so you're saying that you learned how to do good things and have a good heart
By being raised from
a wound.
correct.
Huh. So the scripture comes in mind where David says, "It was good that I've been afflicted."
I'm shocked.
So how then can we have a whole industry designed to pat people on the back who have not grown to a level of goodness while dealing with their wounds? If in fact society teaches us that the man is always at fault.
If you want me to speak freely, I won't speak that it's just about the man.
Mm-hmm.
If we look into today's music industry, and you know what, for the sake of our people,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say this, a disclaimer now. For the sake of our people, I hope that it gets some accreditation. I'm gonna shout out the artist Kalani.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to shout out the artist Janae Aiko. The lyrics and the breaking down of the musical composition that formulates the albums in which you make your dividends is built off of hurt. And that's what is recycled. That is what's relatable to our women of today's society.
Mm-hmm.
So the recycling of hurt and toxicity, speaking of which, one of the star singles in Kalani's album is Toxic. Hello. And women relate to it. And yet you wonder why you can't find a man. You can't go seeking healing from a man, yet you're bleeding over him from a wound that you choose not to heal from.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Let's just be honest. No, I'm just being honest. I want a man to lead me to the right direction, yet you're bleeding all over the place.
So is it
There's no gender. I want to clear that up. There's no gender relation.
Now this is my perspective on
Because
that.
we can go back in the day too.
Now this is my perspective
Was it Craig
on
David?
that.
I wish I never met her. Carl Thomas. There we go. I'm sorry. Carl Thomas. Two first names. Yeah.
The word
It gets me
forgiveness.
every time.
The word forgiveness. If you break down the etymology of the word,
See, that's why I got you on. Go ahead.
it means to change the effect of a past event as if the event never occurred.
But that requires a certain level of discipline that most in today's society do not have.
You cannot have forgiveness and it's not be attached to love. It's the same coin, different side. Love and forgiveness is the same coin, one's head and one's tail. Love is the head. Love is without explanation. Love is without explanation. Say that again. Love is without explanation. Forgiveness is birthed through love.
Right.
But love cannot be love unless there's an opportunity of forgiveness to exist within the confines of love. What I mean by that is this. In order for you to love someone, to actually admit that you're in love or you have love for someone means that you have been through a situation in which causes there to be a forgiveness. Think deeply on that now, because I'm saying this. Now, mind you, I'm breaking down the etymology of the words. I'm saying this because I agreed with your statement that you said earlier, but I disagreed with your explanation of what you said earlier, and it's because you're and the agreement was there has to be love there for the mother for you to love the child. It may be conditioned and confined to whatever you compartmentalize it to be. However, you cannot look at a child that you and another person produced and look at the person that helped produce it and there not be a spickle of love still there for that individual. It may not be in the conditions. It may not be in the condition that it once was. But there's love still there. And the reason why a lot of us, we keep going around the same emotional roller coaster is because we have not allowed love to change the effect that a wound caused us in the past. And one of the ways to do that is to understand that you have to love even your enemy. And loving your enemy does not mean have a conversation with them, does not mean invite them back to your table, does not mean that you need closure, because that's a myth in of itself. What I'm saying is there's no reward in football. If I have the football and I'm in my own end zone and I'm standing there, I can't scream touchdown. It's when I go to my enemy's zone, then I can, same football, and I can say touchdown. There's no reward or there's no such thing as love if you're only showing that to those who appease your emotional makeup. If you're comfortable around someone, that doesn't mean that there's love there. If you're uncomfortable around someone, that doesn't mean that love doesn't exist there. What it does mean is that you being comfortable and being uncomfortable in different situations is directly related upon the wounds that you still hold on to. So if a father loves the child but can't stand the mom, he can't say that he doesn't have love for the mother, because he has to, because he loves the child. The issue is
I believe a few episodes, if not the episode before it, we spoke on self-love and love thy neighbor as thyself, and therefore the love that you put on someone else has to do with the love that you have for yourself. So let's just go ahead and, with me being, with my imagination.
Right.
Let's just go to the club.
So DNA and genetics is passed down through blood, right?
Touche.
So right now we have running through our veins the DNA and the courses of our ancestors, right?
Yes.
And you have so if someone was to love me, that means they would love my ancestor, right?
Do you love what
because
you know?
I carry my ancestor with me. I am my ancestor, manifested in time present.
Science, yes.
So that means that a father does have love for the mom if he loves the child, because the child is carrying the genetics of the mom.
And the father.
Correct. And the mom.
Is love, is love transcended through DNA? That's a whole nother episode. What I'm getting at is this. Let's just say, hypothetically speaking,
Mm-hmm.
I decide to go out and have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
And I get so inebriated through attraction and alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
both of which start with A and A, right? It's not the AAA that we used to call on when we need it, right? Okay. Through inebriation and alcohol, I find myself becoming with child. Based on my self-love, morals, and ethics. I don't want that child to be gone. That's my seed. Through the love that I have within myself, and obviously that of which it takes to create a child.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong for speaking on that's the love that I have for that woman? I may not love you. I may not be in love with you. Like, oh my God, I love everything that you do for my kid. I love everything that you are as a person. Truth be told, I met you between the hours of 8:10 p.m. and 1:29.
But you just said you had love for her?
Should we not operate in love, period? I mean, let's just be honest.
What is the composition of love?
Selflessness. But I understand that's a foreign language in today's society. I get it. And that's why I'm so different from everybody else. I get that. But you understand me. And that one of the few things that
so
I see
love
matter.
is being selfless.
One of the greater factors, yes.
But you can't have love unless you love yourself.
Right.
So love is selfish.
When it needs to be. Because if you're not selfish, then you'll never have a knowledge of self to be selfless.
Selfish for yourself, selfless for others.
Yes. Selfish for yourself, selfless for others. Yes. I was using an example of
No.
10 cups. 10 cups. 10 cups.
Hold on. Let's go back to that. You can't have love unless you're selfish.
I'm sorry.
You cannot, let me word it this way. You cannot show other people love if you don't have self-love.
Right. We said that. What was that? Love thy neighbor as thyself.
Mhm.
But if you don't love yourself, how can you love your neighbor?
Now, but the composition of love, you said was selfish.
Lessness. I break it down like this.
Uh-huh.
Give yourself 10 cups, right?
Okay.
And if it only takes 1 cup for you to recharge yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
That means you can give 9 cups away. You can pour if you yourself are able to pour into 10 cups.
Mm-hmm.
You can pour into 9 cups as long as you are selfish enough. Here's the thing. Selfish enough to pour into yourself on the last cup. Whether second, third, fourth, it doesn't matter when. There's no order. As long as at some point you have enough to pour into yourself so you can recharge to continue to pour into others. Because if that 1 cup can allow you to recharge those 10 cups, you can pour into 9 more cups. Do you understand what I'm getting at?
I hear you.
So, if I'm good, that means your ears work. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. They be like, "Who? Yeah, your foot don't fit no Brent." Yeah.
I hear you.
Look, so if I'm, you need some help, I'm gonna help you. If you need some help, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help you. Can you help me out? I'm a little tired. Look, hey, talk to me tomorrow though. I gotta take some time for myself. Because at that point, you truly love that individual to love yourself enough to get yourself back in order so you can help. Because that you know your purpose is to help others.
And see, now watch this. Watch this. You're going to love this.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
If what you said, your definition or composition of love is Does that mean that militaries act without love?
Do militaries act without love?
Mm-hmm.
Do they?
That I asked the question. Based upon
You
your
said-
composition of
Wait,
love.
you said do militaries act without love? So who are you asking? Are you asking someone who was in the military?
I'm asking you.
So I'm asking someone who was in the military. So
Yeah.
you spoke on a military. I was merely a pawn in the military. So you speaking on the actual
Everyone's a
military?
pawn in the military.
So were you speaking? So I had to do what I had to do
Yes.
in order to survive in the military.
Correct.
You asked a question based on the military.
Does love mean? Does love only mean based upon your composition to be selfless? That means in order for you to be selfless, that means that you care nothing about yourself. That means you care nothing about your survival. That means you care nothing about anything that has to do with you because you're constantly in the posture of giving to others. If that is the case, do military, based upon your composition of love, do military actions show love?
Depends on what it is that they're necessarily giving.
If they were any, it don't matter.
It depends on what they're giving. If they're giving nothing, they're not really losing anything. If you got someone that literally, you got in the military. So I'm gonna break something.
Okay,
down for those
so you
who
were
don't know.
you. Let's say for example,
I was a medic.
a medic, right?
Yes.
And someone in the United States military got injured, and you repaired that person. But that person is known overseas for being the greatest assassin of
If
everybody
I was
over
under
there.
fire,
Uh-huh.
if I was under it again, so it depends on the circumstances of that situation. If
No, no.
I'm under,
Now, mind you, this is all under the basis of your composition of love.
because at the end of the day, it's still under every situation. Let's just be honest. Because if you jumped into this relationship and it's under these circumstances, which then we could fall under the composition of
No.
those
Stay
conditions.
stay with me.
I am.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
break down. So if you jumped into this relationship, it's based under these conditions. If you jumped into this relationship,
Okay, based on your composition of love, you said being selfless. Why did you and your ex break up? If love is just supposed to be selflessness, then what doesn't matter what the other person do, because hey, I still love you. I'm still here.
at the end of the day, I'm not just supposed to know you. I'm supposed to grow with you. Yes? That's the whole purpose of a relationship.
So what if somebody goes through a thought phrase in their growth and the evolution into queenhood? But
then
you
they're not
said-
ready to be in a relationship.
But you said love
That's
is
an
selfless.
identity. That's an identity crisis.
But selfless love would say, I'm with you all the way.
See, that's that situation crap I'm talking about right there. You need to be mindful. So if you have self-love, nah. Because if you love yourself enough to not go through that, are you gonna put yourself in a suicide mission?
But based up, it depends on who it's for.
So you would put yourself in a suicide mission.
Based on who it's for. I have before.
I agree.
It just so happened I came out alive.
Then is that really love?
Yeah.
If you on the other side of the wall, yes.
Yeah. Yes. I ran into a house that was on fire, and I helped the firefighters in Annapolis rescue somebody out their home.
See that. Then I guess we going right back to the centerboard of situations.
No matter what, but that's my whole thing.
Because
But you're proving my no. I'm glad
the
you're
reason
saying
why I'm
this.
asking that, because the person that was obviously in the fire was helpless. I'm talking about. I'm speaking
But
in regards
they-
to. I'm speaking. Me personally. I'm speaking in regards to relationships.
But your words.
I'm speaking in regards to relationships. In regards to someone who chooses to remain in hurt.
But
Stop. I'm not talking about.
But-
Stop. I'm always trying to fight that. Stop. No, we're not.
but your composition that you said of love is selflessness.
Yes.
with that being the
Is it a balance? Yes. No different than a male and female. It's two. It takes two to tango, homie.
you can't be selfless and have love. You can't. You can't.
You can't be selfless without a knowledge of self.
That's not true. Because the American Negro back in the 40s and 50s had no self-knowledge, and they loved themselves.
You sure?
Positive.
You sure?
Positive.
So you're speaking for the Negro back in the 40s and 50s?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess we're all just back in square one.
Nah, we're not. I'm just saying, based upon the composition of love that you gave, and the reason why I keep going back to that statement is because our American understanding of the word love is so manipulative, which is why we don't see examples of true love a lot in our society. Notice I didn't say at all. A lot. And you gotta remember, some banal. So based upon your composition of love, because love is not selfless, love has to be first selfish, and then based upon a principle of conditioning for the person who contains the love. There's no such thing as selfless love, because
See, when you hear selfless, you think it's to just be giving it all.
What does selfless mean?
When like to just be like hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why I gave the example of the 10 cups.
Right, but what does selfless mean? Remember the platform. We can't just throw words around.
No, understanding.
Right, right.
Listen, well, let's not go there because we can sit and go tit for tat with that too.
Okay, let's go.
But what I'm saying is, I gave those 10 cups for a reason.
Uh-huh.
As long as you have the discipline
To
within
recharge.
to be able to recharge, to be selfish. So I acknowledge your selfishness, but I also acknowledge selflessness. There's a balance. There is a balance. I'm not acknowledging just one and not the other, or selfishness and not selflessness.
For those that's
I'm acknowledging
listening
both.
that don't understand your statement,
There is a
there's
balance.
Break down the balance.
You will never know how much of yourself to give to be selfless onto someone else if you have no knowledge of self.
Can someone be selfless and be an idiot?
Yes.
Does that
Does love to me based on my experience, to be an idiot and to be selfless is to be hurt. You could very well be bleeding out and not even know you have a wound. You ever got cut and didn't even know you was like, oh dang, I didn't even know that was there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were bleeding out, didn't even know it. But the moment that you heal that wound, okay, so I'm gonna worry about that happening again. I can go ahead and I can fix it.
I'm glad you know that you said that. This wound I got right here.
That scar is on your bottom of your wrist, yeah.
I didn't even feel the pain of the cut until I acknowledged it was there.
Correct.
Then I dwelt on it being there.
And that's when it hurt.
And that's when it started to hurt.
Right.
But when I was occupied, I didn't notice that my arm was almost chopped off.
Which we could actually break down into a whole nother episode, which is what a lot of niggas do.
Right. And we're going to. But so explain the balance. Someone who's listening or who will listen to this show hear you saying to be selfless and to be selfish, and there has to be a balance. Explain that balance.
For those who are listening, I have an uncle who grammatically correctifies me when I say me personally, because there's no other personally aside from myself when I'm speaking. So I'm gonna get that straight. During a time where I was trying to recuperate myself from a broken relationship, toxic relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I found myself wanting to give.
Now, remember, audience, the reason why we're harping on this is because language, words are spells.
Correct.
So it's important. Okay, go ahead.
And I was give. Are they catching on? Giving to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found myself so frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stand where I was. I wasn't progressing in life because I was giving to everyone else but myself.
Okay.
So I finally decided to give to myself, and I found a balance.
Okay.
To where the pieces of me that were giving back to myself, I didn't necessarily lose from giving to others. So I realized I was literally giving too much to other people and not enough to myself. So and it's almost like having a garden, and you're giving way more apples and oranges to the people, more than what you were planting back into the garden. You were giving more fruits than the seeds that you were planting into the soil. You literally have to plant in your soil. You have to be selfish enough to plant within yourself to grow the fruits that you can feed others with. To me, my opinion, a platform of freedom of speech, love and feelings, that of a man. I am a man who verbalizes and articulates his emotions, something that is broken down in this socioeconomic, handicapped country. I am speaking freely and telling you that a man can therefore show his emotion as long as he properly distributes that of a farmer.
But doesn't every fruit come with multiple seeds?
But do all the seeds work?
Yes.
All of them. Have you taken a seed, every seed from one particular fruit? Have they all grown?
They're in my backyard.
Your particular garden, yes.
I mean, you was asking me though. That's why.
No, right.
Yeah.
So for you, yes. For you, yes. But that's not the case. That's almost as if every seed that a man plants into a woman is going to come out to be totally, all the way, fully functioning.
But the science behind the planting of both earths are different, because one earth chooses the seed and the other earth just nourishes any seed that's given to it. Outside the earth, Mother Nature.
But that requires you to be selfish enough to be knowledgeable of where to be selfless. Which takes us to that balance that we spoke of before. So we can be alright. No, I don't know if the people is ready.
So
if women were to be the soil and men were to be the seed, are you knowledgeable of your soil? Or not a woman, but is a woman knowledgeable?
I thought we was on that TV show. My husband is pregnant.
Nah, I didn't want you to think he was.
No. Go ahead.
I didn't want you to think he was Brent Taylor. I want throw shots at you.
No, Caitlyn.
But if a woman were to be the seed and the man, the woman were to be the soil and the man were to be the seed, are you knowledgeable enough of yourself? It's almost kind of like, am I ready to be in a relationship?
Oh.
Am I ready to be in a relationship right now?
Mindgasm alert. It's funny because we oftentimes get into relationships, and the reason why relationships die out, we're going to continue this dialogue next week too. The reason why relationships die out is because the person that plants the seed, the earth is supposed to allow someone else to water that which is planted, which in relationship, what we're talking is someone to support that which your man has planted in you. Someone is supposed to come and water that which is already planted in you. A lot of times relationships go south because the person that earth wants to water the seed is actually not watering it. They're taking the moisture away from the seed, and they're even uprooting the seed that was planted. So now earth can't produce that which it's supposed to produce because the person that was supposed to water that seed to help the process of the fruit to grow or the tree to grow has now has changed, because instead of someone watering, they were tearing down. And in relationships, this is why I said the word love can be manipulative, because you oftentimes hear people say that it was their friend that persuaded them, or their best friend that persuaded them, or their uncle, their auntie, their mother, their father that persuaded them to act a certain way within the confines of their relationship. When in actuality, if that what's going on in your relationship isn't what, if you're not supporting that which the seed sower in that relationship is planting in the earth, if you don't have people around that can water that, then the environment is not going to help you produce that which has been planted, which is why a lot of relationships are damaged, because you have a lot of people who use business or religious cloaks to come into people's homes,
correct,
to wreak havoc into their
and
homes,
break
and to
down
break it up,
foundation.
and to break up the foundation.
Correct.
When those outside sources are supposed to water what you already got going on. When you have someone in your life that can say, you know what, you're right in the situation, but you're prideful in this situation. Okay. That's someone who's trying to water what's already planted in the home. Yep, that's what the idea of the best man and the bridesmaid,
correct,
the maid of honor or whatever, was supposed to. Did I say that right? Maid of honor or whatever? Matron of honor, What they were supposed to be. They were supposed to be that watering mechanism to whatever the man and the woman are establishing as the plant in their home.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Correct.
So, which is why I said all the way back in the beginning, I agree with your statement, but I disagree with the explanation, because I want the audience to grasp this concept, and then I'm going to let you speak and then we close out. But I want them to grasp this concept. Whenever you, Christopher J., when you establish your home, notice I didn't say if. When you establish your home, and I know things that I speak come to pass, and I've literally lived it. When, including this coronavirus, I talked about it in 2018, but ain't nobody pay attention but a handful of people. But anyway, when you establish your home, no. Before I even make that statement, the reason why sometimes men change when they get certain women in their lives is because of the environment in which they were cultivated in.
Correct. I'm understanding to that.
Yeah. So because they grew up in an unhealthy way, their tree wasn't pruned in order for healthy development to continue.
Which is why I don't seek revenge on son.
Yeah.
I'm not going to judge.
I'm
not going to judge a fish based on its inability to fly.
Yeah. So, in fact, it would be unjust for you to even think about that fish flying because it's not in its nature.
Correct.
You see what I'm saying?
Or
a bird swimming. Yeah.
Correct.
So, now peep this. A lot of men change when they get a woman because sorry, y'all. Because
they're tired.
They have gone into the relationship with the mentality of appeasing the woman instead of setting a standard. And when you are appeasing the woman as your entryway into the relationship, you now have to have consistency with your appeasement. Which is why women who leave relationships says he started off one way, then he changed. Goes back to something we said a few shows ago. actions speak louder than words, but intentions speak louder than actions.
Yes.
So, with that being said, a father cannot properly love the child unless he has loved himself. In loving himself, he recognizes that there may not be a attraction or a tie to the mother, but out of what I see in the child, there is a level of reverent love for the mother.
Yeah, it has to be some form of pre-existing love.
Correct.
I agree.
So the father, in turn, cannot say that they love the child and not have any love exist between the mother.
Stemming from the love that he has for himself.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now,
The love has to stem from some. The love has to be stemming from somewhere in order to be
Correct.
given to something else. I
Correct.
agree. Yes, I agree.
so if you have a one-night stand and a child is produced from that one-night stand, you love the child to death, but you don't really know the mom.
Would that person love the child to death? That's the question.
I know some fathers who had one-night stands.
You know
that
some, but
they might be the exception.
Would that be the journey that individual has to take? Because is that the reason why that action took place? Is because of the lack of love that they have for themselves?
You know, I'm gonna say the transparent moment when my wife, my now wife, when she was just my girl, and she was pregnant with my oldest son, Cottrell. When she was pregnant with Cottrell, my biggest fear was, because I always heard these grand stories of how parents overwhelmingly love their child and yada 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 yada, right? Mm-hmm. My biggest fear was, am I too selfish to have strong love towards another individual in that manner? Like I hear the stories of old. In the moment he was born, the moment I held his flesh, mm-hmm. I felt a level of love. And I felt it with all my children, by the way, but he was the first one. I felt a level of love that I never knew existed in me before. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to think about it. It wasn't just an emotional makeup or whatever. It wasn't just I cooped it up. I didn't have the shanda to get it or none of that. Mm-hmm. By nature of my self-love, I loved my offspring. But guess what? Me and my now wife didn't get married until months and months and months and months later. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I wasn't going to get married off the premise of you just have my child. I'm getting married off the premise of I can't be without you. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Now, the definition of love that I've been highlighting during this debate to get the audience to think is based upon what the family structure is supposed to be like. Next week, we're going to talk about family structure and what American society actually is, and continuing on what we were just talking about now, what it's supposed to be. Because what's supposed to happen is if the father and the mother can't get along and they have the child, there's a level of respect there.
There's still.
Which respect, in order for you to have respect, you have to have a level of honor and love for that individual. May not be
the nuclear family. That's what you're speaking on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes. So, for example, let me say it in street terms and we closing. before the American government made you sign a contract with the state that you are getting married in to say that you are now in holy matrimony by the power invested to the priest that's supposed to come for God but is declared by the state that you are that yeah and a marriage license which was started because they didn't want black people to marry white folks. With all that being in mind, when there back in the day before there was that kind of scrutiny from governments, the village knew how to handle breakups in families to where there was still a mutual respect between the mother and the father in the raising of the child. What happens in America is that has been stripped away from us. You don't know how to deal with conflict resolution when it comes to the home because everyone wants to be dominant. Mm-hmm. And no one wants to be wrong, and everyone wants to be right, and everyone wants to be selfish and appear to be selfless with their love. There's a lot of chiefs, but no Indians. But the last time I checked, the chief had to prove themselves to become chief. It wasn't just given, there was a rite of passage. Next week, we're going to talk about the nuclear family. Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about what a family is supposed to be versus what American society has showed us what it is. Ladies and gentlemen, see y'all next week.
You know what it is.
It's the Choo-On-That show. We out here.
Run that up, Rico. that up, Rico. Run that up, Rico.